The meek shall inherit the earth. But as the old joke goes, who will step up to claim it? The meek may inherit it, but none among them will step up to claim it. I want you to step up and claim it. And that's number 4. Learn to claim and accept praise and acknowledge it in a gracious way, but do accept it. Now think about that. Every strategy you embrace, every action plan you execute should be designed to distinguish you in a positive way. Right? I mean, you want to get noticed. You want to get ahead. I said you want to come up with an image that distinguishes you through your uniqueness, and you want to play big. That means you want to make waves, you want to make noise, you want people to notice you. And when they do, you're going to get praised. Maybe it's in your career, maybe it's in your family, maybe it's in your social circles, romantic relationships, whatever it is, but people are going to step up and praise you. Why is it that most people have a problem accepting compliments? Why is it that when somebody gets praised, somebody gets acknowledged, somebody gets the just rewards of everything they've worked to achieve, the typical response is, "Oh, shucks, weren't nothing," and dig their toe in the carpet like, "Oh, no, don't mention it, don't mention it." What the hell you mean, don't mention it? I've been working 6 months to get noticed here. Yes, do mention it. Mention it to everybody you know. Tell everybody you know what I did. You don't want to be one of those people that shies away from what you have earned. If you have earned the right to be praised, if you have earned the right to be acknowledged, then you need to graciously accept that. And for some reason, we have been taught humility. We shouldn't be embracing praise and acknowledgement. And I told you this isn't for the squeamish, because I'm telling you, you absolutely should. Humility is great in certain times, in certain circumstances. But when you are on the move in your life, in your career, in whatever it is you're pursuing, and you are upwardly mobile, why wouldn't you graciously accept the compliment or the invitation to move to the next level? I can only think of 2 reasons. One, you've been taught it's prideful and narcissistic to seek attention, so you shun it when it comes. Or 2, you really don't believe you deserve it. You just really don't think that you've earned it. You don't believe you've deserved it. Well, let me remove that first obstacle right now. It is not prideful. It's not egotistical to accept, claim, or expect praise. I say expect because you teach people how to treat you. When you do a job well, then you need to teach people that you expect to be acknowledged for it. And if you don't do a job well, then you should expect people to say, "Hey, that was not up to par. You need to step up your game." You don't want to be lied to. If you want to succeed in this world, you need honest feedback, right? You need people to tell you the truth, or you're going to continue this trend toward mediocrity or worse. You need to choose to respond differently when someone praises you or confirms your value. In fact, you should work out your response in advance, and you should practice it. You should practice it so you don't choke or revert to your old outdated response pattern when it happens. So how about simply learning and practicing to say, somebody praises you, they come up and say, "Hey, I just got to tell you, you did a really good job on this project." You may think it's gracious to say, "Oh, no, listen, it was nothing." How about instead saying, "Thank you for saying that. You are really kind to notice." Is that prideful? Is that egotistical? Is that narcissistic? Is that obnoxious? Is it obnoxious for you to say, thank you for saying that. You're very kind to notice. Or that means so much coming from you. So thank you for noticing and thank you for taking the time to say so. Does that seem obnoxious? Is somebody going to turn around and walk away and say, what an arrogant SOB? Because you said that means so much coming from you, which is a compliment to them. And thank you for noticing and taking the time to say it, because you didn't have to do that. Instead of saying, no. If you're in a personal or romantic situation, you can reciprocate at the level of comment that you received. It is always safe to begin with a straightforward, thank you for your kind words, and then add any specific reaction that you want to. Now, the second obstacle, if you don't believe that you deserve the credit or praise, then let me assure you, others will soon begin to agree with you. Because anybody that's truly evaluating a person's worth, value, skills, and abilities, in their heart of hearts, they're going to say, who am I to second guess them? They've known themselves since the day they were born. And they seem to know that they're not very smart, they're not very good, they're kind of lazy, they don't really have ownership in the good outcome here. So who am I to second guess them? They're going to defer to you eventually. They may not say it to your face, but I can promise you they're eventually going to say it to themselves. If you lack self-confidence, if you lack self-worth, like I said, you teach people how to treat you, pretty soon they're going to agree with you. Now, the fact that I said you need to practice this may sound silly or corny or condescending, but role-playing is a very powerful tool in anybody's life. Like I always tell parents, if they're teaching their children how to behave if a stranger comes up to them, just telling them is one thing. Having them role play it, having them rehearse it is something very, very different, because now they're not likely to choke because they're doing it for the first time under pressure. If you're telling them to kick and scream and say, this is not my mommy, this is not my daddy, help, help, 911, not my mother, not my father, 911. If they've done that 10 times with you out in the front yard, it's much more natural for them to do it when it really happens. The same thing is true with you. You absolutely need to look in the mirror and say, thank you for saying that. You are kind to notice. It is worth it to you to say that means so much coming from you. So thank you for taking the time to say so. Just those things. You've claimed it. So now they've complimented you. You've embraced it. So you've been noticed and you've acknowledged it. That is very important. You have got to overcome this myth that it is egotistical or narcissistic to accept praise. And you may say, well, I hear you, Doc, but where's the line? I mean, does that make you a self-promoter? Yeah, probably so. But if even you won't promote yourself, why would anybody else? I do Dr. Phil every day, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year. People ask me, is this worth watching? What do you think I say? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It's just something to do. I don't know. You think that's what I say? Absolutely not. I say, I absolutely believe it's worth watching. We really work to destigmatize mental illness in America. We give people common sense information delivered to their homes every day for free. And I think, in fact, that it is the highest and best use of television. Is that self-promoting? I hope so, because I intend to promote what I do because I believe in what I do. And if somebody sees me on the street and they come up and say, Dr. Phil, I just love your show. I love your message. I say, well, thank you. I really appreciate you saying that because we have a lot of fun doing it and we really believe in what we do. And it means a lot that you take time out of your day to watch what we do. I don't say, oh, don't be silly. It's just, it's nothing. I say, thank you. Thank you for saying that because we take it real seriously. It's great to hear from you that you take time out of your day to watch. That means a lot. Why would you not do the same thing in your own life? And I'm asking you to do that because that's one of the things winners do.